Hello everyone, this is HAP-P-KID back on the Robo-Rebellion after a pretty decent break of making videos on this channel. So, what a nice way to start, or better said to restart, this little review channel with a robot that most of you out there know and probably appreciate. Because I have a few people that actually told me that this thing is childhood for them. I completely understand it because I used to have the one that came before these. Not the first generation, but the other Super Fighter, the Kid Connection one. And for all of those who actually were like confused because I would say red and blue, it is confirmed that it was blue. No, not blue, damn it. Red. Sorry, red, not blue. Blue is the one that Kevin had. My bad. Because my mom, she was like, she heard the sounds that this thing made, like the scanning sounds. And she was like, oh, didn't you have a red robot that would do that a long time ago? And I was like, yeah, so it was red. And she was like, yeah, what about that? I would not remember the color. So I was like, thank you for, pointing that out. So, story behind the robot. I got it at the car boot sale, you can call it, at the fair in my school. And there were a few things that I wanted to buy. There was a balancing figure, there were a few other things like a walking dinosaur and another animatronics, but this caught my eye. It was the first thing that I saw and it was outrageously expensive. I'll go ahead and reveal the price for anybody that is like interested in knowing how much I spent on this piece of crap. And with piece of crap, I don't mean piece of crap because again, if it was a piece of crap, I would not have bought it. But you can just tell how much I regret it. I paid $70 for a robot with rust on the battery terminals, dirt, incomplete, and it's the last Super Fighter they ever produced, so it doesn't have the light up gun. Now, all of that has changed. The robot is clean. It has, like, the contacts, I actually was able to clean them up. The robot's completely cleaned up. And this is not a usual review where I would just, show the robot. So I'm going to go ahead and put the pieces on it. These pieces belonged to Robot Sergeant, okay? These wrist armors and the ankles and the shield belong to the Robot Sergeant. The only piece that belongs to Super Fighter is this, which is the gun that I modified, as I said before. Now it has a red LED, and probably one of the shiniest Super Fighter gun out there. Because I know they have a red LED, but in my case, I ended up just putting a mouse LED, and those things are really, an optical mouse, I mean, like really bright. So these shooters actually came from a knockoff that I have. It's a really old knockoff. So here he is. That's how the robot is somewhat supposed to look. So I'll go ahead and do a demo on it. Even though I spent $70, it was worth it at the end, because I've been wanting this guy for a long time.
I am a Super Fighter. Now scanning. Enemy detected. Fire.
And I'll be honest, I've been wanting this robot for a long ass time, and I'll be honest, again, these robots, I used to hate them before. And what do I mean with before? Because you might be like, what time period is it before? Accurately, 5 months after I got this one, which is Robot Sergeant. 5 months before I got Sergeant, I used to hate these robots because I thought they were legit. I did not know they were made by HAP-P-KID, because I did remember the logotype, but I thought they were made by another company, like, Mattel, Hasbro, shit like that. Of course, that ended up being actually fake, which is good, because I don't like Hasbro toys anymore or any shit like that, because they are just so limited. And yeah, that's pretty much the story about it. So I completely love these, and I'd love to have an army of them. I'd like to have the actual Turbo Fighter, not the Super Fighter, You know, this one says I am a super fighter. The other one says I am a turbo fighter. And you know, any other versions like the original 1996 ones, Robot Sergeant, Robot Defender, King Titan, Turbo Fighter, Super Fighter, and the list just goes on and on and on. So again, a little bit of information on the generations of these robots. The Turbo Fighter body robots are these, okay? These are the ones that they call Turbo Fighters. When they say Turbo Fighter, Super Fighter, they are referring to this one. Reason is because it has the exact same body. And by the way, ignore the armors here because they are not the same. The ones from the arms are practically the same. These are from Robot Sergeant, so ignore that. These are called the Turbo Fighter body robots. Why? Why, if almost every single robot has the exact same mechanism, exact same arms, exact same legs, and again, a few differences changed, just like the relay and the type of chest and the design and some stuff. It's simple because HAP-P-KID Toys made a robot back in 2005 that came in two colors, of course, red and blue, and it was this one. Not this one, but it was called Turbo Fighter. It was the first robot with that chip. Turbo Fighter. It would have a green and a blue chest light. It would have a lot more paint details just like these. It would have a few other paint details just by example on the back. It would have like paint around here too. It was better built, and if you would push the button, just like Turbotron, if you would push the button while he was, you know, doing the play mode, it would actually stop. You would turn it off and then you would just turn it on as soon as you would push it again. Which is something, in all honesty, I have never seen in a robot before. So what happened, you know, time goes by, and after a while, they decided to relaunch the Turbo Fighter with another soundtracks and with this exact same, like, structure. And they ended up saying, hey, what about if we bring Super Fighter back in a way? And they put the Super Fighter chip in one of these. So there's no way in the world to find out if it will be a Turbo or a Super Fighter from that generation, because we would consider it a Super Fighter from the second generation, because that's what it is. The first Turbo Fighter, and then this one, which is the second type of Turbo Fighter. And we were talking about the actual Turbo Fighter, not this one. About Super Fighter, I will say this should be a third generation Super Fighter, because we have the 1996 Wang Kwong one, which was Mar the Turbo and Ram the Defender, in all of its variants. We also have the one that I used to have, which is Mars Super Fighter, which is the one that has like the chest roll here and the little like triangular thing here, and has the removable chest. And then of course Super Fighter as we know it right now, which is this one. So this is a third generation Super Fighter. Now, as I have explained everything, I think I'll just go ahead and show the robot in action. The robot's pretty nice. I love it. I'm not gonna lie, it's beautiful. And the fact that it doesn't walk that well on the floor, and Robot Sergeant actually beats this robot on walking, it's kind of embarrassing, because Robot Sergeant has been through many modifications, and the reason why he no longer has his, you know, voice is because the chip kind of fried. I still have the chip. It still somewhat works because it does the try me sounds and all, but I don't know the connections, and the transistor for the speaker overheats so damn much that it's just gonna fry up the sound again. So yeah, I guess that without further ado, here's Super Fighter. And also, I don't know if I already mentioned it, but the reason why Robot Sergeant fried in the first place was because I left it turned on the sleep mode. He has like this sleep mode where he stops making the background sound, and then you gotta push the button to reactivate it, and I left it around like 4 or 5 hours, and the thing just died. So yeah, I guess that without further ado, here's Super Fighter, or as I call him, the Super Fighter. Oh, and another thing, I forgot to say another thing. I'm sorry some people are just like dying to see it, but there's a proper thing about this robot that they no longer make like this, and it's that the chest rolls have to be aligned, and I'll show it right now.
I am a Super Fighter.
If you guys see, these two chest images have to be aligned for the robot to be completely realistic. The Fly Guy and the Super Fighter, or Turbo Fighter, whatever you want to call it like. Assuming by the details, I think it's a turbo. But you get the point. Another thing, of course, is that I like these robots particularly because of how realistic they are. They are not like those robots that are just like, fire, fire, and they just walk and the lights flash all at the same time. No, this has a scanner, a lamp, a gun that flashes when it's supposed to flash, and a face light that flashes in sync with what the robot says. It was exactly the same thing with you-know-who, Robot Sergeant. And again, I really want another Robot Sergeant, or at least parts to restore mine, because, I don't know, I just would love to have another Robot Sergeant in fully functional shape, and give it the box and all this stuff of my first one. So yeah, I guess that it's finally the time, so here's Super Fighter.
I am a super fighter. Now scanning.
Alright, now another thing that I forgot to actually say is that I said in my channel, which is again Zorak Leader, I said that this arm did not need the posing trick. It actually ended up needing it because the thing would just slide down again. So it's a really simple trick. You just gotta put like two tiny cardboard circles in between the two joints and then tighten it up and it'll be just hard as it's supposed to. Another thing. I do not know this. I think there actually is, but I think you can actually modify the second generation Turbo Fighter, the one that looks just like this one, because this is as I said before, the same generation, so it was released probably the same year. Again, this robot's board inside it says 2010, and it was made around I think March 26th of 2010. So that's an estimate on Turbo Fighter and Super Fighter from this generation where they started cutting everything. Because the original, the Turbo Fighter original used to have this gun that would light up. It would have this shield, which again, in the other, I think it was blue actually. It would have, it would have the missile launchers, and it would have another type of gun that would be like a gun with a little drill piece on it. That's just how cool these things were before. With the years, people just got used to the, dumb concept of a robot that only has the fair, the just and necessary thing. Robot Sergeant was probably the last robot that I ever saw that had everything. Because Robot Sergeant had a light-up sword, which in my case, it never came with the robot, sadly. It had the gun, it had the missile shooters with the missiles and stuff, all the armors, the shield, the remote. Of course, as I said before, this is dead, so don't expect anything to be said of him, but yeah. So, as I was saying before, I think I am positive on that there is a way to modify the Turbo Fighter too, because this one had a contact called hand inside. And it connects to the main positive of the motor and the chest lights and the eyes and the gun, which is the 4.5 volt wire. There's an orange wire that connects to 3 AA batteries, and then there's one that because the circuit board, talking about the sound only, it's powered by 4 AA's. The motor and all the lights are powered by 3 AA's instead. So the chip only controls when to make them blink or stuff. Now this goes to my slight conclusion. If I actually would put the positive wire of the motor to the 4 AA battery, this thing would go 2 times faster at least. I don't want to do that because, again, you guys saw the video. Well, you guys saw what has just happened until now. The robot is great in synchronization while walking, and that's what I love about it. So I believe that is the decent speed these robots should have, because just look at this.
I am a super fighter.
That is like the proper speed of a super fighter to walk. So yeah, as I said before, I am positive. I haven't seen the circuit board of a Turbo Fighter. I hope I see one soon so I can, see if there's actually a way. Because there's only 2 things that you need. The circuit board to have that contact, and the micro transistor that's just next to it. If those things are connected and soldered, that's practically it. You're set. The only thing you need, just like I did, I handmade contacts for the gun. I opened up the gun, put the light, put the wires, made all the way to this spot where the board is at, and just soldered the wires and shit. So you get the point. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying my first video after a long break on this channel. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm just going to give you a small warning, but at the same time, it's something to keep you all updated. I am showing something pretty damn interesting soon. So you guys better keep an eye out, because what's going to come after a little while will actually shock you. So yeah, once again, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Like, subscribe, leave your comment, and if you want to, leave your memories with this robot if you ever had it. And as always, thanks for the support, and bye.